Go. Rosum, Skrzypcak, playing for top 8, 11 and 3s. 11 and 3s.
And as we mentioned, Skrzypcak's list here, not leaning super heavily on mana creatures as a route to devotion, leaning much more on non-creature permanents, so Oath Nissa, Utopia Sprawl, Nissa Voice of Zendikar, Garruk Wildspeaker. There are birds and Arbor Elves and such, but this list I would say a little lighter on mana creatures than one would expect out of a green devotion list.
Rosum, let's see the start. Okay, so the interesting thing to me is I've played humans enough over the past week and a half. In this matchup, because you have to be so fast, Champion of the Parish might be the best one, and Vial might be the worst one. But at the same time, there will be draws where Vial is the best one. If he Vial's in Champion, plays Lieutenant, next turn cast a 3 and then plays a 2 off Vial. It just depends on how his cards line up. He's got to go. He has to go nuts.
Right. It's the Vial, I think, is still the card with the highest ceiling, but it's still about Champion of the Parish. It's facilitating that creature growing as large as possible, as fast as possible.
Rosum's going to play a champion. See, right now, yeah, he's only got 1 land. So he's going to pass the turn back. He's got Hierarch in his hand. He's also got Freebooter. Looks like Mantis Rider. I mean, his hand's all spells, obviously. And, oh boy, Skrzypcak's hand's no joke either.
Yeah. I mean, he's already got devotion green, 4 devotion to green. He's got a Summoner's Pact. He could even go this turn and Summoner's Pact for Acidic Slime and blow up the Vial. Alternatively, he can just generate a bunch of mana and do something like Primeval Titan or what have you.
This is
the 3rd turn. This is the 3rd turn.
What is he? Is this? Okay.
Hoodle Alley.
Okay. Well,
that is better than 5 human beings. You need to have 5 of them.
Well, if we're just going to flat Goldfish, then we're not going to play much Magic.
Yeah. This is, I think this might be problems for humans.
Oh, Noble Hierarch. Oh, okay. Ah, nice. Nice.
Now this is somewhat concerning for me. Okay, Skrzypcak is getting the die. We covered him before. He put the die on top of his deck. After Summoner's Pact.
This would be the wrong time to have it happen.
Uh-oh. Phantasmal Image.
Ooh. Ooh. Well, we're gonna play a little Magic then.
Spoke too soon.
Well, now we're, boy, that's not that exciting. I mean, it's something, Dahlia. It's not going to hurt him.
Phantasmal Image on the Hornet Queen is very good.
No, absolutely.
And Skrzypcak, it gives some opportunity for Skrzypcak to maybe mess up. But if we're just sitting here saying go, Skrzypcak is still a huge favorite.
Yep.
Just keep in mind, he gets to go, at some point, given enough time, he can go get Kessig Wolf Run and then just send a token a turn.
Well, what's interesting is, does he know? So how well informed is he? We're going to find out right now, right?
Yeah.
Because the only thing, if I'm Skrzypcak, the only thing I care about is Phantasmal Image. Legitimately, I think the rest of Rosum's cards do not matter. Mantis Rider, whatever. Right. Reflector Mage, whatever. What are you going to bounce my Hornet Queen? Whatever. All that stuff. And right now in Skrzypcak's hand, he has another Pact.
Well, it's possible, I think that's largely correct. The game is just about avoiding Phantasmal Image. I'll say there's a chance that Rosum can go large enough with creatures with First Strike, and that's a way to make some inroads on the battlefield. That's hard. That's a hard way to do it, but his humans are not completely locked out of the game. The Thalia still have a chance if they grow large enough to be impact players, to get in some attacks on the ground.
Well, my concern was if Skrzypcak was just oh, okay, send in with my bees and my Hornet Queen and everything's fine, and then Phantasmal Image is just okay, we trade all the way up, and then Skrzypcak has nothing. He realized that I don't have to make a move because this next turn, I believe he's just going to pack for Crater of Behemoth. All his creatures are LOL, LOL, and then the game is over.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was like my concern, is if he was just like, oh, the coast is clear, like he can't do anything about these flyers, maybe gets a little too aggressive.
Yeah.
Here's another lieutenant.
A Crater Hoof Behemoth would be plus 64 power on top of the stats of the creatures on the battlefield.
Well, that's not very much. What do you start the game at?
20.
You ever heard of the Death Touch Trample combo?
That is, you know, I'm not a level 3 judge or whatever, but I understand they play. I understand it plays well.
They're friends with each other.
And I think that Skrzypcak has Eternal Witness to get back the Pact. So I don't even think this can be broken up with. I don't think this can even be broken up by Freebooter. Because you just go Eternal Witness, hold priority, you play my thing.
Yeah, no. Just block the biggest creature, which is totally fine.
It's tough. Going from 8 to 7 creatures goes from plus 64 to plus 49. Which, you know.
You're going to be okay.
You know,
It's not nothing.
But to my point before, the first strike creature is a little obnoxious. Now it's likely Skrzypcak just goes and kills this turn, but there's some hope of Thalia being able to make forward progress. Now we're down to plus 36, and
Yep.
we still got the Death Touch.
You carry the 1.
You carry the 1. And Hornet Queen puts 6 toughness on the battlefield.
Okay, so that's free, basically.
The bird's free because you get the mana back from the Nykthos.
Yeah, count the Utopia Sprawl too. Now here's Summer's Pact. Pay 1 for that. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. And then Hoof is
hooves. Give him the hooves.
I would announce the trigger.
So then you got to carry the 4. So it's multiply, you know, square the number of creatures in play. That's the bonus. So 7 creatures is 49, plus whatever's in play, 50, 51, 56. It's 60. It's a lot, 60 something.
I wouldn't even show him Phantasmal Image, by the way. I wouldn't even show it to him.
And because the Death Touch, so how much is coming in through Death Touch here? You have 21, 23, 24, 25, and the Hornet Queen is 6 points of blocking. Yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah.
No way to do it.
Nope. Jonathan Rosum going to concede the game as Anthony Skrzypcak going to win game number 1 here. Mono Green Devotion, Goldfish, and real well against humans. The power of Hornet Queen and Crater of Behemoth, they compel you, my friend. Rosum going to go to the board. Skrzypcak already has a plan here against humans. Might be a very good matchup for him as he's playing for top 8. And while these two players get ready for game number 2, we are going to hear a few messages from our sponsors. Sideboard time, here we go. We're starting with Jonathan Rosum. It rhymes with awesome. 2 Dismember, 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Izzet Staticaster, 2 Mirran Crusader, 2 Sin Collector, 2 Vithian Renegades, and Offense of the Foremost, and he's Atherid Necromancer. He's actually got some goodies here.
Yeah, the 2 copies of Mirran Crusader and the 2 Izzet Staticasters, I think, are at the top of the list here. And I think bringing the Dismembers are fine, but again, Skrzypcak not really leaning that heavily on creatures.
There also should be a Dark Confidant in the sideboard too. Do you like that at all?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
Skrzypcak doesn't really interact, and if Skrzypcak's winning the game, it's not a couple points here, a couple points there. It's some overwhelming advantage.
2 Abrade, 2 Creeping Corrosion, 2 Kozilek's Return, 2 Kitchen Finks, 2 Relic of Progenitus, a Grafdigger's Cage, a Lightning Bolt, and save the best for last year, 3 Blood Moon.
So the 1 Lightning Bolt, the 2 Abrades, and the 2 Kozilek's Returns here are all great. I really like the Blood Moon in the matchup, and I particularly like it alongside Abrade, as he has several ways to get Aether Vial off the battlefield. At that point, Blood Moon, very hard to play through.
Those are your options. Interesting matchup. It is. So Humans does have like the ability to goldfish pretty well and have enough disruption with like Freebooter and Meddling Mage for it to matter. I mean, not the last game,
right?
But it can happen. As far as the last game is concerned, Skrzypcak just got to do his thing.
Yep.
And his thing undisrupted. See you later.
Yes, it's so much more powerful. And Rosum doesn't interact with the battlefield all that well.
Both players will take a look at their opening hand. I do like what Rosum has to bring to the bring to the the battlefield, however you want to say it, in sideboarded games.
Yes.
There's some good cards there. Ooh, slow start. Arbor Elf, Basic Forest most likely.
Yeah, it looks like Rosum's kept a hand on the strength of Freebooter plus Meddling Mage.
It better be good. All right, let's see how that Kitesail Freebooter is, because having no 1-drop with Humans on the play is a bit of a disappointment. Queen, Pact, Arbor Elf, Nykthos, Misty. Only 1 card to take.
So basically mana and a Hornet Queen.
The Skrzypcak peels Blood Moon. Game over. Faded it. Just a stomping ground. Might be thinking Misty. Yep, gonna play the Misty. That's an Arbor Elf. Pass it over. No attacks, of course. 1-1 into a 1-2. Not ideal. Going back over to a Rosum.
Really good spot for a Staticaster.
True. Drew an Ancient Ziggurat. Meddling Mage this turn? Maybe? I don't know.
Well, there's no risk of Hornet Queen being cast the next turn, so you can wait at least 1.
All right, Reflector Mage instead.
Good choice.
Yeah. Your favorite. All right, Anthony Skrzypcak. How'd we do? Burning Tree Emissary. Not the worst. It's freebie. Can't play the Arbor Elf, of course, because of Reflector Mage.
You know, honestly, I think I would have preferred for him to hold back the Burning Tree Emissary, because there's no block that it facilitates this turn unless you're willing to double up on the Reflector Mage.
Strikes me as unlikely.
And the more that you can seal, the more that you make future Meddling Mage plays more complicated, because you have Nykthos plus Burning Tree Emissary. If Rosum's thinking, I can wait 1 more turn on Meddling Mage on your Hornet Queen, suddenly you just explode and it's on the battlefield before he's prepared for it.
Maybe he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very true, especially if he draws like another Burning Tree Emissary.
The Burning Tree Emissary is just so free to play at any point, and when you already have Nykthos in hand, I just want to conceal as much information as possible.
A couple matches to update you with is you see Rosum attacking here for 3. Mario Torres just won his match against Riley Karan. Torres was playing Burn, Karan playing Bant Company, so it looks like Mario Torres could be in the top 8 here. And then Trevor May with Skred Red defeated Michael Farrell playing Jun, so perhaps Skred Red will be making it in the top 8 as well. We might have 8 different decks here in the top 8, folks. Meddling Mage named Hornet Queen. Noble Hierarch came down as well. The draw was Eternal Witness. Arbor Elf will show up. Stomping Ground enters the battlefield tapped. Nothing to witness back. So it's just a boring old turn right now. Pass it over. These are the games where Mono Green Devotion looks a little anemic.
Well, they don't interact with creatures that well, and so the freebooters and meddling mages are going to be, they're going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if Rosum doesn't have his doors blown off in the first few turns of the game, now he's giving Skrzypcak a lot of draw steps. There's not a whole lot that Rosum can do about that, but he's at least able to disrupt the hand a little bit.
Rosum working himself towards a 2-mana spell, just trying to decide which one. He's got Phantasmal Image. A copy Meddling Mage, it looks like. We'll see what he's going to name if that's the copy. Ooh.
That is awesome. That's such a good name. I wouldn't have even thought of it. Man.
Jonathan Rosum just named Bonfire of the Damned with the second Meddling Mage.
Good for you.
That is awesome. One step ahead.
Well, he's pushing all of his creatures out of Kozilek's return range.
Yep.
Now, he doesn't have the benefit of the deck list. Those are only public when we get to the top 8.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, what's the card that this mana deck with a little bit of red could realistically have?
It's definitely Bonfire.
That's a good name. That's sharp.
Yep, you could lose to Peeled Bonfire real easy right now. You got Burning Terminus is going to jump in front of the Meddling Mage, or excuse me, in front of the Reflector Mage. Obviously going to lose that fight. Draw cards and Oath of Nissa. Yeah, smart kid. That's a good play.
That's a great name.
That's a really, really good name. Yeah.
See Skrzypcak really floundering here.
There's your Oath. Branch Emissary Forest, Utopia Sprawl. A big old bag of meh. Take the Branch Emissary, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the line I'm guessing from Skrzypcak here is just hopefully have enough of a battlefield presence and enough devotion where you're drawing to Craterhoof Behemoth.
I think that's all he can do.
Because his sweepers are cut off.
Yep.
Keep in mind also that freebooter has a summoner's pact underneath it, so if Skrzypcak is able to find a lightning bolt or an abrade, that can unlock it too.
Okay, okay. Remember, one Meddling Mage on Hornet Queen, second one on Bonfire of the Damned. All right, couple of those. Building up devotion. Nykthos has been in hand all game. Jonathan Rosum knows about that from the earlier freebooter. And now Skrzypcak is just hoping he can keep his battlefield intact to get to Crater of Behemoth.
Yeah, if Rosum can't disrupt him here, the next best thing is just force some blocks. Knock down the devotion count a little bit, make it less likely that Craterhoof Behemoth is just lethal.
Cavern of Souls, the draw to go along with Mantis Rider and Noble Hierarch in hand. That's a Mantis Rider. This is a Noble Hierarch. May not seem like the biggest deal, but it does pump Thai's Lieutenant, and you said let's make him bigger to force some blocks. I think you right-click attack with all Magic Online style.
Well, maybe not, because you may not want to lose your Meddling Mage. As long as you're attacking for 12, you are forcing a block.
Okay.
And this attack is for 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So a little bit short.
This is 11?
I'm counting 11.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, you got to take it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to be gained by making some incremental inroads on the board right here. You can't lose any of your resources. You've just got to take this, go to 1, and hope to KO. Yeah, hope to KO him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at 1. Utopia Sprawl? That ain't it.
Yep.
Fair enough. Anthony Skrzypcak going to concede the game. So Jonathan Rosum, Anthony Skrzypcak, they're going to go to game number 3. Humans, Mono Green Devotion, all tied up, which means we get to hear from our sponsors one more time before watching game number 3.
Go.
You know what rhymes with awesome?
Awesome.
Great answer.
Naming Bonfire the Damned.
Boom. That's
Yeah,
right.
That is so good.
That is. So I remember these players looking at their opening hand here. Actually, they're still sideboarding, so we have a little time for conversation. You know, I remember when we were watching, we've done this for a long time. You know, Ross, Merriam, kind of come up, you know, take his licks, learn some things. Now, one of the best players on here.
Yep.
And, you know, he's Grand Prix runner-up, plays in Pro Tours, all that stuff. I remember Andrew Jessup, take his licks. Remember him taking a real tough loss to Reed Duke in an invitational playing for top 8. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the best players in the SD Tour. Going to be probably a Pro Tour mainstay. For me, this is the next guy.
Yes. A lot of it is, do you have the time and energy and commitment to see it through? And we've seen some players over the years where I think that potential was there and just different priorities took over.
Yeah.
It's not a judgment. That's what life is. But I think Rosum, if he is able to maintain a level of commitment and focus, will be, like you said, one of those next names.
I see some real attention to detail with how he plays the games. I mean, it would have been so easy to just, you know, say Summer's Pact or Creative Behemoth or something else. Be
Right.
pretty, I guess, lack of a better term, closed-minded about what to name. There are versions of this deck that do play Bonfire the Damned.
Right.
And that would have been a card he auto-lost to.
Yes.
I think that's just, you know, it's an unconventional, smart name, and it's just, you know, kind of a heads-up play, truth be told, by Jonathan Rosum, 19-year-old from Spencer, Mass., member of Team Lotus Box. So we're going to watch Game 3 between these two. But, you know, as long as he keeps honestly showing up, the results are going to follow.
Right.
I really do believe that. And he and his team are having a nice tournament. That's the other thing. All right, both players going to take a look at it. Now, the tough thing here for Rosum, he's on the draw against a deck that can be very explosive. So I know last game he did not have a one-drop, didn't have Vial, didn't have Champion, didn't have Noble Hierarch. He's got to have a one-drop this game.
Yeah, I mean, your hand on the play of Freebooter Meddling Mage and nothing on one, I think is, you know, you keep that. That hand's fine. I think on the draw, that might not be enough.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And he's also got a worry, you know, who knows if how aware he is of Skrzypcak's list here. I think there's also more pressure to have Aether Vial when you're opening hand, because the risk of turn 2 Blood Moon.
Yeah. That is a good point. That is a good point. So what? Ross, I'm going to take a mulligan here. These players are playing for a lot right now. They're both playing for top 8, so that's min 500. You know, if they lose, probably a top 16 finish, probably walking out with 325, but one of those is better than the other. And one of them's a lot better than the rest of them. That's first place, $5,000, and at qualification to our Season 1 Invitational Weekend in Roanoke, Virginia in June. He doesn't know, boy, that's not a happy face for the 19-year-old. That's not a happy face at all. All right, he's going to keep and scry. Maybe fingers crossed that he gets a little bit lucky here. We'll see where Skrzypcak starts. 19, Verdant Catacombs, Nets of Forest. Let's add Utopia Sprawl to it. Kick it over. Rhymes with awesome. With Horizon Canopy. All right, he's got his 1-drop.
And he's got some protection here against Blood Moon as well.
Yep.
Two-headed giant team Rob and Potter. Please report.
Green was the name on Utopia Sprawl.
Two-headed giant team Rob and Potter.
Skrzypcak will draw.
Round is ready to begin.
Summoner's Pact.
This hand looks like it has a lot of tools here. Some mana and some payoffs.
Green floating, Oath of Nissa. Trigger top 3. I found a Nykthos. Okay. Summoner's Pact and Utopia Sprawl go to the bottom. Remember, green mana floating, Stomping Ground tapped, pass it over. Not that explosive of a second turn. We'll go to Rosum. Champion of the Parish, the draw.
Well, I like this dimension of Skrzypcak deck a lot. You see Reflector Mage in Rosum's hand against a lot of builds of Green Devotion. That's just a great tempo play. Skrzypcak is setting up shop here without using any creatures whatsoever. So cards like Is the Static Caster and Reflector Mage just aren't effective here.
Champion and pass is all that Rosum can do this turn. And Carrick.
Oh,
Forgot that was a card.
heating up.
It's got 4 copies of the Wild Speaker in the deck. That's the original Garrick from Lorwyn. Haven't seen that thing in ages.
Crater Hoof in hand.
Okay. Acidic Slime in hand. Yeah. Don't get too excited over there. I know you are, though. And Garrick is going to make a beast. We'll get a big die on there for our wonderful viewers at home, too.
Well, here we go. I mean, this is a really good spot for Reflector Mage.
That means he needs a land. I mean, this is the...
Right.
He peels a land, he's playing. He doesn't...
He's way ahead if he peels a land.
Yep.
And if he doesn't, the door might be shut next turn.
Yep. Tide Anderson Beast token. Is it going to stay on the battlefield or not? What? Dismember. Okay.
Okay.
So he can still kill Garrick. Reflector Mage would have been the best.
But Dismember's not bad.
Yep. Draw a card. And I'm sure even a land is still good. Drew a Seachrome Coast. Not the best land. He's got Freebooter in hand. Doesn't have the mana to cast it. Something you don't see that often. 2 mana. Lieutenant. Okay. These creatures are going to get bigger. Champion's going to get 2 counters. Noble Hierarch will get 1. And he'll get it beat down on. Champion will take care of Garrick. Noble Hierarch's going to get a point cross over to Skrzypcak. Blood Moon the draw. See how that changes things. Remember, Acidic Slime in Skrzypcak's hand as well. Blood Moon might be a little late to the party, not sure.
Well, it's hard for me to believe it's bad in this spot. It's definitely not a KO, but...
Well, I don't think it's bad. It's just, yeah, it's not the KO
right.
that you would want it to be. I'm curious if he's going to go to Slime or Blood Moon here. Tough decision.
Yeah, the Noble Hierarch makes it a lot more complicated.
Other thing that makes it tough too is, you're taking a look at, if you play Blood Moon, you're shutting off your Nykthos. Your Nykthos isn't great right now, but you are shutting it off. It's kind of what your deck's trying to do.
Yeah, the alternative line here is that you cast Acidic Slime, you blow up a land, and Rosum is probably loath to attack you next turn because all of his threats are so much better than an Acidic Slime. That adds to your devotion count, and the next turn you have Summoner's Pact for something big. You're still building towards Critterhoof Behemoth.
Let's go back over to John. Image.
Oh, image that slime and get the Utopia Sprawl land.
Yeah, that's boy.
Yes.
It's gonna kill Nykthos, huh?
Okay, that's
That's fine.
Nykthos is more mana. It's legendary, I guess, is the risk.
Yeah, there's a risk there.
My instinct is to go after the Sprawl.
Yeah, of course. I'm looking at the force of the Sprawl. Yeah.
The legendary thing is a tiebreaker, but I think this turn looks like Bird plus Moon.
Yeah, and Moon's not that good now.
It's still, there's nothing wrong with it.
But he's got another image in hand.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Guess you should have played Blood Moon. We're copying slimes for days. All right. This, that.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How the tables have turned on this game.
This is so great. So great.
You a man screw me?
No.
I think so. I think so, buddy.
No
I'm a man
friend.
screw you.
Although I'll say this, there's a big draw to Kozilek's return here.
That is true.
In Skrzypcak's deck.
That is true. He will draw a card. Kessig Wolf Run Mountain.
Does he have any 4s to build up a board with here that he can summoning pack for?
It's got like Chameleon Colossus. It's not good though.
No, it's not good.
Not against Death Touch Slime. It's got like an Eternal Witness he could get. That's not exciting. Just when you thought it was safe to play Acidic Slime.
You got hold tight here, right? There's not.
I don't think you can do anything.
Right.
Not to mention the fear of copying a slime, blowing for your land, not letting you pay for the pack.
Yeah.
That's just another thing. Mirran Crusader the draw, can't cast it though. Yep, clear for takeoff. There's just a bird. Dude, I want to play humans at the Pro Tour.
You're back?
I'm back. Phantasmal Image is busted.
It is busted.
It's so good.
That card is busted. That card is busted.
Skrzypcak's down to 9. Rosum at 13. He drew an Arbor Elf to Skrzypcak. He's going to play it. Untapping and drawing. Cavern Soul's the draw, I think. Yep. That's going to come down. This doesn't allow him to cast anything different. It's just the same song and dance. He can't cast Reflector Mage. Yeah, he doesn't name anything with Caverns because of Blood Moon. And he's really kind of locked out of what he can cast.
Now the question here is Skrzypcak just chump blocking here because his only draw is to Kozilek's return, and you're going to lose your mana creatures anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Is he playing to anything beyond that?
Yeah, he appeals Kozilek's return, the game's over. Or, I mean, it's very close to over.
Yeah, it's not.
It's Vial based.
Yeah, now Rosum needs to draw a Vial to proceed. So if you're only drawing to that card, you might as well chump.
2, 4, 5, 6. Huh. Okay, just get that off the mouth. Okay, sure. Take 5, go to 4, draw. Wooded Foothills. Well, he gets another chump block out of it. He could pact for a 5.
He has no 5 to go get. He may have Scavenging Ooze in his deck.
Not working with a lot of green mana, though. And also, Scavenging Ooze against Death Touch creatures, they're not very good.
And he's got to pay the upkeep on the pack the next turn.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you just got to say go, chump, and hope to draw Kozilek.
Hope to peel. Oh, boy. Unless there's something we're missing. I mean, it could be like Eternal Witness or something.
Kitchen Finks. Have you brought in any of those?
And he's looking at Witness. Okay, get that back. The problem is that he's bottleneck for next turn.
Right. The problem is I think this path locks him out. I guess he can go get a second creature.
Oh, that's ambitious. Garrick is real ambitious.
Well, Garrick still allows him. No, he can't cast in the first place.
He's got a pass.
Yeah, I think he just needed to chump and draw Kozilek's return.
Yeah.
Because now you block, you pay the upkeep.
You go to 1, you just DOB.
And yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a card he can draw in his deck. And I think he just drew a Braid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pass the turn back. That's going to do it. Jonathan Rosum going to win this match here over Anthony Skrzypcak. 2-1. Humans are awesome, says Jonathan Rosum. He is 12-3. Just snuck by Mono Green Devotion. And if breakers go his way, we'll see him later today.